Hello and welcome back. My name's Liam from the Basic Barista, and today we're going to try and make espresso coffee using the Timemore C3 grinder. So I'm a big fan of the Timemore C2 and C3 grinders. I think both of them are amazing budget-friendly coffee grinders that you can take pretty much anywhere. They're very simple and easy to use. The body of the grinder has this nice finishing that makes it super easy to grip when you're grinding. It also has a grinds catch and a full grind size adjustment and some stainless steel burrs, which makes some very tasty coffee. Now, the difference between the Timemore C2 grinder and what I have here, which is the Timemore C3 grinder, the main difference besides the color of the grinder is that this has the S2C burrs. So the S2C burrs have these horizontal lines that actually spike the beans before they cut them up. That's what it stands for. Grinding with the S2C burrs is actually a little bit slower, and we'll see that more so when we're grinding for espresso. However, I found that grinding with this grinder is actually much more faster than most other grinders anyways. So it really shouldn't make too much of a difference. Now, if you want to check out this grinder and learn a little bit more, we've done some other videos up above, so check those out. Now with me today, we're going to be pulling shots on the Aram Coffee Maker. So the way that this works is it's got a cranking system which gives us a little bit of play around with pressure, a valve and a piston, chamber that we put the hot water in, and the basket where we put our coffee, and then obviously here is where we put our cup. So we're going to be brewing coffee on this, and we're going to be grinding on the Timemore C3. But before anything else, we need to weigh out our coffee. With me, we've got some mystery beans. We're going to go for 18 grams. Purpose, I haven't looked at the coffee. I'm not too sure what it is. It could be a couple different types of coffee. So I want to walk you through sort of what grind size I use for espresso as well. Basically with the Timemore C3, anything from 0 to about 10, I'd say, is around the espresso mark. Anything from 10 to about 30 is more of your pour over. I'd say 10 to 20 is sort of your finer side of pour over, and then 30 is sort of pushing it a little bit coarse. Then you've got your French press and your other coarse brewing styles, such as cupping and whatnot, around maybe the 40-50 zone. So I think for this coffee, we're going to try and do 8 clicks. And I've got some hot water in here already just to preheat the Aram, as it is predominantly made from stainless steel, so this really does suck out the heat. And since we've got a light roast coffee, preferably we'd have a hotter brew water. All right, so I'm going to grind this coffee and we're going to see how long it takes as well. Super quick spritz of RDT. All right, so we're on the 0 point. Just going to do 7, see how we go. Put our coffee in the grinder. Flip it on and let's grind. And we're done. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty rough on the wrists. I think grinding on such a fine grind size with a light roast coffee, it's going to be challenging. And this was a very light roast coffee, so it's going to be interesting to see how it pulls. So like I said before, we've got some hot water in here. I'm just going to drain that real quick. This is our 53mm basket. I guess you could call it a portafilter basket without the portafilter, just the basket. Then we've got the funnel. We're going to place that on top and we're going to tear everything out. And we're hoping for 18 grams. Perfect. 18 grams on the dot. That's exactly what we like to see. No retention, and I'd say most of that's due to the grinder, but a little bit to do with the RDT. So if you're interested, check out the video up here. Now, not to be confused with RDT, we've got WDT. So all this is a whole bunch of needles that we're going to rake our espresso in hopes for a much even fluffier grounds and distribution before we tap. Now, taking off the scales, I like to do the quick little tap. Another tap. And then we're going to tap. Looks nice and even. I feel like the basket's a little bit short, so maybe next time we'd go for 19 or 20 grams for this coffee. and that does make a little bit more sense seeing as it's a lighter roast coffee and it's already quite dense. So if we're going to dial in this coffee again on a different grind size, maybe doing a higher dose as well. I just want to run a little bit more of hot water through the Aram so we really have a higher temperature when brewing. Alright, so we just got rid of that last little bit of hot water to preheat our Aram. Now I'm going to screw in the basket, followed by the scales, and then we're going to use the Oreo Sense glass. Great, now we're going to tear it out, pour our hot water in, try and get it in as quick as possible, and then we're going to start pulling our shot. I'm not going to start the timer straight away, as I'm familiar with this machine. It doesn't actually come into contact until about halfway. So starting the timer, and now we're going to go down and start extracting our espresso. And that's feeling really good. I've got a really nice resistance, and at the 30 grams I'm going to back off and stop our extraction. So that felt really good. So it came in a yield of 32.8 grams. So we're going to just try this. It's looking really nice though. Got a really good crema and it's smelling super floral and sweet. I'll just give it a quick swirl. Nice acidity to it, not too sharp. I would say that this is actually pretty spot on. I feel like it's a good temperature as well. I think that extra little bit of water that we used to preheat the Aram really did help. And as you can see, we've actually got some steam coming up, so it is quite hot. Taste wise, this was very floral, creamy. It's got a little bit of citrus to it. I'd say that this is like either a washed or a washed Ethiopian coffee. It also has some red fruits to it. And I was completely wrong. It's a Colombian geisha coffee from Forest Coffees. So that goes to show my experience with espresso. However, it still tastes really nice. And it does have those really nice florals as well. So I'm pretty impressed that you can get this level of quality of espresso used by a grinder that's just over $100. If you've got any questions that we didn't answer in this video, you can leave a comment down below. I hope you enjoyed watching. Have a great day and happy brewing.